It's Thursday, January 29th.
I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service.
Some officials are calling for compensation for frustrated riders as LRT service reductions and delays continue.
Union leaders are warning the federal government is keeping Canadians in the dark about the scope of public sector layoffs.
The center, here comes Giroux with Stutzla going to the net. Giroux scores! What a shot!
Oh yeah, the two wins for Ottawa hockey fans. The Sens and the Charge put up wins with the Olympic break on the way. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning, everyone, and happy, Melissa's words, Little Friday. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb.
Rosie is going to be off today, and we're going to continue talking about the transit because we thought that we had a lot of problems this week, and then yesterday just continuing to see problems with the OC Transpo and with the colder temperatures right now. It's definitely a little bit of a mixed duo, but we do have some brightness on that front with the weather.
That's good news, I think, and a lot of relief for so many people.
I know, finally some warmer temperatures on the way. We'll start with that story because frustrated LRT passengers are looking for more answers after the latest transit issue this week led to major delays in crowded platforms. It has many wondering if they deserve compensation.
I'm going to cross my fingers, and yeah, I really hope that they just light a fire with this issue.
If there are savings from not paying RTG the full bill every month, then I think that's where there might be some wiggle room to provide some relief to passengers.
But while some riders are asking for refunds, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says that is not the way to go.
I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service.
Sutcliffe adds delivering reliable service is the top priority and that more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet. And while frustration with the transit system reaches a peak, there are questions about when the Ontario government will take over the LRT. Premier Doug Ford is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million, uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need, and we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
The Premier gave no indication as to why little progress has been made. The city needs this deal to address its nearly $50 million gap in its transit budget, and officials say that they've been hoping senior levels of government would step in.
Ottawa police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year after a man was stabbed to death in the Carlington area. Paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition, but police say the man later died from his injuries. This happened in the 1400 block of Mayview Avenue. Two individuals are now in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Officers remain in the area as police believe there is an ongoing risk to public safety. The victim's name has not been released. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit.
Ottawa City Council has approved a new zoning bylaw that will change the way neighborhoods are built and developed right here in the capital, and this is going to be for years to come. Councillors unanimously approved the final draft. The bylaw governs everything from the height of the apartment buildings to where businesses can operate. The changes come following a review to give more freedom to builders so that more homes could become available. One of the most notable changes will be allowing a maximum height of 3 stories in most neighborhoods, with options to increase to 4 stories where it's appropriate. It means, in theory, Ottawa suburbs could see more triplexes being built and rented out.
Turning now to the latest developments in reaction to federal job cuts, union leaders are issuing a warning about the impact of cuts and argue the government is keeping Canadians in the dark. Dozens of workers and union leaders gathered just outside the West Block yesterday, now that MPs have returned to the House of Commons for the winter sitting of Parliament. Union leaders are warning widespread layoffs across multiple departments will impact services many Canadians rely on, from food inspection and old age security to employment insurance checks and passport delivery.
What will happen to these departments and agencies? Because the work doesn't go away. Someone has to do it. So the question is, what is their plan? Is it contracting out? Is it privatization? Because at the end of the day, people will be put at risk if that work is not done.
The federal government is looking to axe 28,000 jobs over 4 years as part of its comprehensive expenditure review to help save $60 billion.
There was a frightening situation at Ottawa's airport after a small plane slid off the runway. According to airport officials, the pilot reported issues with the landing gear before declaring an emergency. One side of the gear wouldn't lock in place, causing the aircraft to leave the runway. Photos posted to social media show the plane sitting in the snow beside the tarmac. Only the pilot was on board at the time, and thankfully, no one was injured.
At City Hall, councillors voted to explore further options to protect the Canada Golf and Country Club from being developed. A motion from Councillor Kathy Curry called on staff to look at options to secure the long-term protection of the land, including potentially acquiring the property. The site has been the subject of legal battles for years. Currently, 1,500 homes are set to be built on the golf course lands. Councillors also confirmed that Ottawa taxpayers are the new owners of an East End dump that is being purchased for $95 million. Now that it has been bought, city staff will work to integrate it into the waste management plan. More details will be available next year. And the Ottawa Senators were looking to piggyback a big offensive win against the Golden Knights on Sunday when they welcomed the Avalanche to the Capitol.
Center, here comes Giroux with Stutzle going to the net. Giroux scores! What a shot for Giroux! 3-1 Ottawa!
Here, here! Claude Giroux scored his 10th goal of the season. It ended up being the game-winning goal. The Sens would go on to defeat the league's top team by a score of 5-2.
And Ottawa's back on home ice this Saturday when they play the New Jersey Devils. Okay, these are some big wins. This is something to be proud of, right? Like, this is good news.
Yeah, and you know what? And now Toronto moves to last place in the Atlantic. We get at least one spot up. And there is so many games left. It is still really tight in that race. But I feel like if we can go on a little bit of a run here, I know hope is dangerous this time of year, but we have it for our team. And the Ottawa Chargers, the big win too. So maybe the Ottawa team is just kind of going on those good vibes.
And you always want to be peaking around now, as they say in sports. Like, you want to be peaking towards entering playoffs because it's just, you really want your team to be gelling and you want to, like, win your way into playoffs, not kind of get in by default because you played a good beginning of the season and we're so good that you're still lingering in those top spots.
Yeah, for sure. Especially right now, we do need to kind of peak so we can have a chance to get in. So we're with you, Ottawa Senators.
Fingers crossed.
And the Charge.
There's still lots of time left.
Yes, there is.
And in our forecast, we're finally going to feel some relief as we head into the weekend. Unfortunately, not today. Yeah, still another cold day ahead. We're sitting at minus 17, so it's a little bit warmer than yesterday. However, with the wind chill this hour, still feels quite cold. It feels like minus 24, so these are your temperatures with the wind chill. It feels like minus 30 out in Pembroke this morning. Kingston feels like minus 21, minus 19 for Cornwall, Brockville. So still feels pretty cold outside to start off your day. We will see a mix of sun and cloud this morning into your afternoon. So once that sun is up around 7:30 a.m., we will see some sunshine. Now, there is a chance we could see a few scattered flurries this morning, right through until about noon hour today. Then it will clear up and we'll get to see that sunshine throughout the rest of the day today. And we do have more sunshine on the way as well as we head in through at the end of the work week and right through into your weekend. So it's looking also much milder as February arrives. Today's daytime high is minus 13, but with that wind chill into the afternoon, it will feel closer to minus 22. So quite cold still outside into your day ahead, but at least we get to see some sunshine in through the afternoon. Similar temperatures throughout the region. Minus 16 is your high in Pembroke for today. Minus 15 in Bancroft. Minus 11 for Kingston as well as in Trenton this afternoon. Minus 13 is your daytime high over in Gatineau. So over the next few days, this is what you can expect. Of course, today we could see some flurries just early this morning until about noon hour, clearing up and then more sunshine. Minus 13 for today. Minus 22 is the overnight low. Staying cold Friday and through Saturday, still in the minus double digits. Minus 13 for tomorrow, minus 10 on Saturday. But hey, at least we're getting to see a little bit of sunshine as we head in towards the end of the work week and in through the weekend. Temperatures will then warm up slightly as we head into February. February, of course, arrives on Sunday. Minus 9 is the daytime high, so we're back into those minus single digits finally. Warmer on Monday with a high of minus 4, so hopefully the groundhog will see his shadow and we'll get to see an early spring. And as we head in towards the middle of the work week, temperatures still a little bit more normal for this time of the year. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. We have no issues to report. Traffic is actually looking pretty decent this hour. We are collision free, which is great news. And there is nothing major going on all your major routes. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. Before we head to Columbus, the Blue Jackets taking on the Flyers. Adam Fantilli all alone, staring at an open net until he's robbed by the glove of Dan Vladar. A wild save to get across and steal the goal. The best of his 26 on the night. Unfortunately for him, the Flyers didn't get the win, but Vladar gets your must-see moment. And today on TSN, our coverage of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts continues. 3 draws through the day, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, still to come on Your Morning Ottawa, are you struggling with the winter blahs?
This is one of the best winters we've had for a long time.
I just don't like the cold anymore.
Do you share their opinions there? Some Ottawa residents share their tips for getting through the coldest weeks of the year. That's coming up just ahead. So let's take a peek outside to see if we can feel it through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. And yeah, temperatures still around minus 18, feeling closer to minus 22 with that wind chill. But some sunshine is on the way this weekend with temperatures warming up. Woo! Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday. Here are some of the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Premier Doug Ford is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province. Ottawa City Council has approved a new zoning bylaw that will change the way neighborhoods are built and developed right here in the capital. And the Ottawa Police Service Homicide Unit is investigating a death that occurred in the Carlington area. Full details and all that coming up. Let's take a peek outside. Temperatures still below seasonal for our Thursday. Chance for some flurries, but then that beautiful sunshine appears throughout the midway point throughout the day. Still a little bit cold overnight, but the sunshine is there this weekend and temperatures will be on the rise. Melissa provides those bright details coming up. Let's take a look at the roads at this hour, shall we? Nothing major to report. Everything moving smoothly, and the highways are looking very clear, especially with the city crews working out there. Snowbanks are still a little bit high, but everything looking smooth this morning. And speaking of the winter weather, are you tired of the snow and the cold? With these long gray days, many of us are already ready for spring, but there are some ways to beat the winter blues and enjoy the season. Here's CTV's Peter Sperling.
Margaret Kenny is embracing winter skiing in Gatineau Park.
It was great, especially where the sun's shining. It's lovely.
For her, snow is the gift that keeps on giving, with Ottawa receiving nearly 170 centimeters since November.
This is one of the best winters we've had for a long time.
Whether it's skiing or skating down the canal.
It's a nice way to be outside.
With a beaver tail stop, of course.
Is it tasty? Yeah. While many do embrace the season, what's fun for some, well, for others, they've just had enough. Absolutely. I just don't like the cold anymore.
It's really cold. It's the cold. I don't mind the snow.
Certainly not ideal weather to be waiting for a bus.
It sucks. It's not fun. These are times where you wish you had a car.
Cancun, Mexico.
This group of 12 family and friends getting a break.
We try to get away from the cold once a year.
But for the rest of us, no relief in sight.
I don't think there is. Maybe from the snow a bit, but certainly not from the cold.
David Phillips with Environment Canada says winter is not letting up.
And you know, you're only a week beyond what we call the dead of winter, the halfway point. So there's still a lot of winter to go. I think that typically what you see in February, March, and April is about 48% of your annual snowfall is yet to come.
So, while parts of winter can be a pain, the season sure can be beautiful.
I mean, look at the trees. They're just gorgeous. They've got the snow on them. It's like a postcard. We're lucky, right?
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
All right, coming up a little bit later on the show, we're going to have Andrew Holmes come in from Sleep Efficiency. He's going to talk about your sleep routines, what we should know, and especially with wearables. There's a term called orthosomnia, where you get a little too obsessed with tracking. I am for sure in that category because I had my Garmin, I had my Whoop, and I did it for years. And it was so great to obtain all the data. But then I started becoming too obsessed where it's like, okay, well, now I get 7 hours. Now I get 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I know that you probably are.
I'm new to the game, right? I have the Apple Watch on one arm, and then I have the, goodness, it's like the Oura Ring. It's the non-expensive one version. It's humankind or something, human connection anyways. So I want to know what he has to say because maybe I'm going to have to start taking them off at night.
Yeah, we'll see how much they're actually working and how much is actually in your head. All right, well, former Union Station on Rideau Street is among the potential sites under consideration for Alto's new high-speed rail station. That is a notion backed by Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, who believes Ottawa residents would be best served by a station located right downtown. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts. Good morning to you, Bill.
Good morning. I love this, Will. I got to tell you, though, I have very romantic views of trains and train travel. I'm going to be that old guy one day with the engineer's hat on, building a train set in his garage. That's going to be me. You can come and visit. I'll let you blow the whistle. Woo, woo. No, I really am fascinated by trains. Always have been. I remember my first radio job in Northern Ontario. I would hear the sound of the Northern Express blowing the whistle at night, and I would think of all the people I left behind in Toronto, and they were just a train ride away. So that's where I'm coming from when I say this. Yes, let's have high-speed rail come all the way to downtown Ottawa at the old Union Station. Wouldn't that be just spectacular? The VIA station now, what a terrible introduction to Ottawa. You get off that train, you're in the middle of nowhere. The first thing you see is a bunch of big box stores. It's awful. The problem is the Senate is in there right now for the renovation of Parliament, which is supposed to be, what, a decade long? It'll probably take 30 years. So you have to get the Senate out of there. Then you'd have to do a lot of renovation inside. And then where do you run the tracks? If my history is correct, when they moved the station from there to where it is now, out on Tremblay, I think is the street, they tore up the tracks, and that became Colonel By. You've got the bike lanes there and cars that come up there now. Do you really want to run high-speed rail up the canal? I don't think you want to. So I think there'd be a lot of logistics to work out, but if we can do it, that's where you put a train station, right next to Parliament buildings and the Chateau Laurier. I think it'd be glorious.
I'm right there with you. I think it'd be so wonderful for the city. And obviously, it's so many years before this actually happens, and I hope that they do it a little bit better. I know it comes at a time with public transit, with OC Transpo not doing so well right now, so hopefully, Bill, if we do decide to do this, we can have a better plan put in place when it actually gets unveiled.
Yeah, if it ever happens, by the time it does, it'll have to be very wheelchair accessible for me at that point as well.
Hey, well, you know
what? If not, someone will be taking me on the train with my ashes or something.
Hey, well, no. I'm going to come out there as soon as it's happened. Will's coming out there. He's taking Bill on the train, and we're going for a ride
You'll wheel
all
me
the way
out
through
yourself.
downtown.
That's very nice.
There you go.
You might be so old by then, Will. You'll need to be wheeled out there.
Someone will need to take me to take you.
But wouldn't it be nice if we had high-speed rail and it ended at Union Station?
Yeah,
awesome.
we can hope for a nice, positive future, Bill. Have a good show, my friend.
Sure, yeah, and the Leafs might win the Stanley Cup this year, too. So
well, they are beneath the Sens now, just saying. Remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll and News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 till 10 a.m.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we're learning more about sleep trackers with sleep expert Andrew Holmes. But first, we want to know, what does your sleep routine look like? What do you do before bed to ensure a decent night's sleep? Give us all those juicy details. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street this morning. A cold start to your day. Feels closer to minus 24 this hour. Good morning, Ottawa. Happy Thursday. It is 6:21. Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we're asking for your comments on what is your sleep routine. Tell us your thoughts and email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. I'll start with you because mine is just all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like I'm able to have a sleep routine because I don't have two little ones that disrupt mine all the time. But I will say bedtimes and wake up times being the same. So setting that circadian rhythm and talking with Andrew Holmes from Sleep Efficiency. I'm obsessed with tracking sleep, and I got really into it. I feel like if I don't do this right now, I would go into maybe some sleep work just like with him, because having those bedtime and wake up times be consistent really can hammer in how great your sleep is, and then the quality of sleep that you have between your REM and your deep sleep. So I try to get to bed at the same time each and every night, wake up at the same time. It is a little bit different sometimes, especially when we have some sports games and stuff you want to go to.
Yeah.
But the sleep routine usually is a little bit of a wind down before bed, getting into bed no longer, probably within like a half-hour window.
No blue lights and stuff before bed? You try to stay away?
I have some blue light blockers that I wear
smart.
beyond like 5 p.m. And then I do a little stretch with red light like 15 minutes before bed, just without devices.
So you have quite a nice little routine.
Yeah.
Mine is I put my kids to bed first, and then I hope that they fall to sleep because my sleep is just dependent on theirs. I don't really have a routine, but it's basically I put them to bed. I always put my daughter to bed because she always wants mommy, and I always fall asleep with her. And then I wake up kind of disoriented, and then I kind of make my way over to my room. But then sometimes I have to brush my teeth still, or I put my retainers in, I put a sleep mask on, and then I lay there and I'm like, why can't I fall to sleep? It's the worst.
Yeah, because you've already passed out, and to get back up, being a little bit like that, then to go back to bed.
Okay, but the hours, I have to ask you, because we wake up very early to be on this show Monday to Friday. Are you still waking up at 3:15 a.m. Saturday and Sunday when you can technically sleep in?
Yeah, so some days I'll definitely push it a little bit more. I'll still try to go to bed at the same time, unless like being a diehard Sens fan, I'll catch a couple of games or whatnot. I push it a little bit, but if I do, it's only Friday, and then Saturday, I reel it back in because then Monday comes pretty quick.
That's my problem. My ring keeps on telling me I don't have the same sleep patterns because I can sleep until 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Just cruise through. And we'll see about those sleep patterns with sleep efficiency coming up to see if they're a good or a bad thing. So we'll be hearing from you a little bit later on the show. You've heard from our routines or my routine, and then Melissa based on what her kids are doing. Let us know your thoughts. What is your sleep routine? Let us know. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we learn more about what you need to know about sleep tracking devices. Andrew Holmes from Sleep Efficiency breaks down what you need to know before investing in one, and that's coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll be right back. Happy Little Friday. It is 6:30 a.m. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Ayala. Rosie is off today, and we're continuing to talk about OC Transpo as we just continue to see problems each and every day. Commuters are looking for some answers and accountability after a stalled train during rush hour Tuesday forced passengers to disembark and walk to the nearest station. It's the latest in a number of incidents that have riders wondering if they deserve some compensation.
It's frustrating. It's disappointing. I think there should be something by way of compensations, just some, free ridership, something like that.
And while some riders are asking for some refunds, Ottawa's mayor says that isn't the solution.
I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm irritated by the challenges we've had with public transit. But the team at OC Transpo is doing everything it can to improve service. What I hear over and over again from residents is they don't want refunds. They want better service.
Sutcliffe says more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet, and discussions have been ongoing with the Premier on uploading the light rail system to the province, but he was unable to provide a timeline. Here's what the Premier had to say.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million. Uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need. And we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
The Premier gave no indication as to why little progress had been made. The Mayor says he's hoping to meet with the province soon to try and move those talks forward.
Ottawa police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year after a man was stabbed to death in the Carlington area. Paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition, but police say the man later died from his injuries. This happened in the 1400 block of Mayview Avenue. 2 individuals are now in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Officers are remaining in the area as police believe there is an ongoing risk to public safety. The victim's name has not been released. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit.
Canada's premiers are meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney today with the upcoming Kuzma review in mind.
We know President Trump's rules. There are no rules with him. So we need to focus on what we can do.
In any negotiation, there's on both sides, there's some people that are kind of out front with more bluster. We're certainly seeing that.
It's going to be an exciting couple days as we...
The premiers started their winter meetings just days after U.S. President Donald Trump leveled that new 100% tariff threat against Canada. The U.S. Treasury Secretary also had a warning for Prime Minister Carney after his speech at Davos.
I would not pick a fight going into USMCA to score some cheap political points. Either you are working for your own political career or you're working for the Canadian people.
The USMCA.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary did also say in that interview, "I think we will end up in a good place." Kuzma comes up for review in July.
Several people are responding to a new snow removal idea for the city of Ottawa, and it's something that's already being done in some municipalities. If you have a driveway, you've likely dealt with the dreaded windrow, the pile left behind by a passing plow. Some municipalities like Mississauga have specialized equipment to clear windrows. It costs taxpayers around $50 per household per year.
The machines come in and they just push the snow in front of the driveways. It's just like, why not push it down the street or push it over there? Like,
it'd be worth it for the convenience, but I don't know if I want to pay extra taxes.
And while many residents say it would be a great addition to the snow removal service, the city says Ottawa is simply too big and a similar program would cost too much.
Dozens of people gathered outside the U.S. Embassy along Sussex Drive last night for a vigil in memory of Alex Preddy, the ICU nurse fatally shot by a U.S. Border Patrol officer over the weekend in Minneapolis.
I've been wondering a lot since his murder, what's making this resonate so much with people, that advocacy doesn't end.
U.S. officials said Preddy, who had a permit to carry a gun, was armed and officers fired defensively at a protest on Saturday. His death has sparked widespread outrage and further protests as bystander videos don't appear to show Preddy holding a weapon before he was shot. Preddy was the second American citizen killed this month during ongoing immigration enforcement crackdowns in Minnesota.
It was a slow commute on the 417 last night after an excavator fell off a transport truck. Ontario Provincial Police were on scene of the westbound 417 just past Moody. 2 lanes were blocked with delays backed up from the 416 for about 90 minutes. Paramedics say they were not called to the scene. Drivers were advised to plan an alternate route. Police say the cause of the incident is under investigation.
This is one of the risks of parking your car on the street during the winter months. This video shared with CTV News shows a snowplow hitting a parked car in Toronto. The plow took the panel off of one of the back doors. Windows on the driver's side were also shattered, and the city says the contractor will pay for the damage.
It was the final game before the Olympic break, and the Charge were taking on Seattle.
Then across now for Jenner.
Ottawa's own Rebecca Leslie to tie this game at 2 in the third. The assist comes from Captain Brianne Jenner. That's her 50th PWHL career point. The Charge would break the tie in the final minute and go on to win 4-2.
Amazing.
Ottawa Charge playing so well this year, especially towards the end of last year. They were in that rough patch, and now they're just playing phenomenally. The Sens a big win, the Charge a big win. City's looking good.
Absolutely. And the last one before that Olympic break, so always nice to end on a high note, which is great news.
Totally. And in a competitive game like that, feeling good with a little bit of a comeback, a win, and now a nice, well-deserved break.
Absolutely. Well, in our forecast today, it's still a little bit cold out there this morning. We could see some flurries to start your day off, but then sunny and cold into the afternoon. As we head into the weekend, we will see lots of sunshine right through Saturday into Sunday and through next week. So not a lot of snow on the way over the next 7 days. More sunny, but we also still have some cold days before we get to some milder temps. We are sitting at -17 right now in the city, -20 in the valley, -18 in Kingston, -13 in Brockville. Factor in the wind chill. These are now temps with wind chill, so it does feel closer to -24 this hour in Ottawa, -30 in Pembroke, -21 in Kingston. So a cold start to your morning feels like -28 out in Trenton. So chilly temperatures to start off your day. We will see a warm up slightly into the afternoon, but we still have a cold day and below seasonal. We will get to see some sunshine this morning. There is a chance of those scattered flurries until about noon hour today. Then it will clear up and we will get to see sunshine throughout the rest of your afternoon. Overnight tonight, skies will stay fairly clear. Slim chance of a few scattered flurries overnight, but then sunshine Friday right through into the weekend forecast. Temperatures today below the norm. -13 is your daytime high. With the wind chill, we'll still feel closer to -20 into the afternoon. So we do have a cold day on the way. -16 in the valley for today is your daytime high. -11 for Trenton as well as in Kingston this afternoon and over in Montreal. So over the next few days, we'll start to see things warm up as we head into February, which is wild that it's just around the corner. And then it will be a bit milder as we head into next week. Overnight dropping to -22 again. We could see those flurries this morning. Sunshine for Friday, mix of sun and cloud, a high of -13, -10 as we head into Saturday. Sunday warming up slightly as February arrives. At least we will be in the minus single digits. So a bit of relief on the way Sunday in through next week. And then as we head into Groundhog Day, very mild conditions and a little bit above seasonal with a high of -4.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
On your roads this morning, eastbound on the 417, still seeing buildup at the 416 split in through Maitland. Westbound on the 174, a few slowdowns, 10th line in through Montreal Road.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, as Canadians continue to face a rising cost of living, two polls are offering a look at outlooks and habits around spending around the country. We'll learn some more details coming up just ahead. Let's take a peek outside through our sky cam, and no sunshine as of yet, but we will see some this afternoon. Happy little Friday, everybody. It is 6:39 in 10 seconds. We'll be right back.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
Welcome back. Happy Thursday, everybody. Here are some of the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Premier Doug Ford is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province. Ottawa City Council has approved a new zoning bylaw that will change the way neighborhoods are built and developed right here in the capital. And the Ottawa Police Service Homicide Unit is investigating a death that occurred in the Carlington area. Full details on all that coming up. Melissa, what do you got for us on the forecast front?
Still another cold day ahead, but at least we're getting to see more sunshine on the way today and over the next few days. A chance of scattered flurries this morning. Mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. -13 is the high for today. We'll feel closer to -20 still with that wind chill. Staying cold overnight, -22. Chilly for tomorrow, -13 is also your high, then -10 on Saturday. But we have warmer conditions on the way as we head into February. On your roads this hour, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Just starting to see volume that's building. Of course, the 416 split in through Bronson this morning is a little bit heavier. Also starting to build 10th Line Road if you're heading into the downtown core from Orleans this hour.
As Canadians continue to face a rising cost of living, two polls are offering a look at outlooks and habits around spending around the country. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us with more on the results this morning. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Will.
With so much concern around saving and cutting back, what are the top affordability concerns so far this year?
Well, we know this affordability is a huge concern, and we've seen that consistently for quite some time, particularly when it comes to food, as we've seen food prices rising faster than many other goods consistently. And so that is why when we go to the grocery aisle, there is so much stress. We saw the government this week honing in on food costs, announcing changes to the GST credit. But we've seen in recent years millions more struggling to afford food, meaning you're leaving the grocery store with a lot less for the same amount of money you typically spend. And we also seen more and more are turning to food banks. And a report recently from multiple Canadian universities is predicting Canadians will likely have to spend more than $800 more this year for the same amount of food as we did last year. So a just released Nanos CTV News survey provides a snapshot of affordability concerns, and those food prices remain as a top financial burden. Canadians say cutting grocery costs really outweighs concerns about housing and healthcare as well, significantly. It doesn't matter whether you break down the Nanos numbers by region or gender or age. Every demographic cited grocery costs as the area they'd most like to see reduced costs and see the prices come down. As I mentioned, it topping healthcare, housing, gas and fuel prices, and entertainment as well. So at a time when it feels like everything is much more expensive, we are hyper-focused on the cost of food, and it is the top thing that we want to see come down this year, Will.
Yeah, and you know, Scott, we're about a month out now from the holiday season. Are many Canadians still feeling the impact of that holiday spending? And if so, what are they doing about it?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. A lot of us are still feeling the impact of how much we spent during the holidays. It can be a stressful time, and for many it comes down to financial expectations. And when January hits, too many of us realize we may have overdone it and are now left with tough choices. And according to a new report from financial technology company Coho, a third of holiday shoppers say they went over budget. So now in January, it means 2/3 have to make at least one change to their budget. And the top thing that people cut back on in January is going out for food, going out to eat, followed by buying clothes and discretionary items for themselves. And so when January hits, and often we see that credit card bill roll in, it can be terrifying and force us to make some tough financial decisions, as affordability overall continues to be a top concern.
Yeah, it definitely does, especially after that holiday spending. Everything's just getting more and more expensive. Appreciate your time, Scott. Have a good day.
Thanks, Will. You too.
Today we're asking for your comments on your sleep routine. We're getting nosy about how you go to bed at night, so we would love to hear from you throughout the show. Send us an email about those details, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And we haven't had any comments just yet, but hopefully some will trickle through the next few hours this morning, because we were sharing our juicy details about how we go to bed at night.
Yeah, we need some advice too, because it's funny, because certain sleep routines that people have in, you might not think to do yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, not everything works for everyone. So something that might work for you doesn't work for me, but then something that works for Jim might work for Melissa. So
exactly.
Keep those comments coming in, because we always love to see, because sleep is so important.
Oh, it's so important. And I'm always up to try new things, right? Especially with having kids. I'm always like, if I can maximize the little sleep that I get, I am willing to take all the tips and tricks and try them all to see if it works for us.
It is amazing what a good night's rest can do for your entire well-being.
Absolutely.
All right, it is contest time. Get ready for a magical journey. Disney On Ice Road Trip Adventures is coming to the Canadian Tire Centre. Experience Aladdin's Princely Parade and discover a whole new world. It's an unforgettable show for the entire family, and we want you there to experience the magic of Disney. We are giving away a family 4-pack of opening night tickets February 12th at 7 p.m. If you want a chance to win those tickets, head over to ctvottawa.ca and enter for your chance to win. Good luck to all.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, while young people are motivated to quit vaping, a local GEO psychiatrist says there are barriers to the kinds of supports that would help them. We learn more coming up. Here's a live look for our Skycam on George Street this morning. Still dark out there, but the sun should be up within about 40 minutes time. Good morning, Ottawa. Temps right now feel closer to -24. It is 6:48. Happy Little Friday. Time now for your morning fix, and it is the honor of a lifetime carrying Canada's flag at the world's biggest sporting spectacle. And this week, 2 of the country's best found out that they will be leading our Olympic team at the Milano Cortina Games next week.
You have been selected as the flag bearer for the 2026 Milano Cortina Games.
Wow, my hands are like shaking.
So exciting.
It's super cool.
Thank you. Are you shocked right now?
I mean, yeah, I got chosen is really kind of unbelievable, but very special, and I hope that I can kind of lead the team in well and do a good job.
Mogul skier Mikhail Kingsbury will co-carry the Maple Leaf with ski cross racer Marielle Thompson at the opening ceremonies on February 6th. Thompson has had an impressive career, winning gold in 2014 and silver in 2022. Kingsbury is a 3-time Olympic medalist, winning gold in 2018, silver in both 2014 and 2022. He was the first male mogul skier to win 3 medals. Well deserved. I mean, incredible.
And what's so great about that too is, having so much success on the grandest stage of all, but then still having an honor like that. And you can see his hands were shaking with his kid in his hands, so still able to obtain some new adventures
Still
as they move
going
forward.
at it. Like wild, incredible. Well, the World Cup trophy is on its way to Ottawa. It will be here in Ottawa this spring as part of a cross-Canada tour. The trophy will also go to Vancouver, Calgary, Winnipeg, Montreal, Halifax before completing its journey in Toronto. An international 75-stop tour kicked off January 3rd, and fans who want to see the 18-karat solid gold trophy in person can register on sponsor COCA, Coca-Cola's website, starting this morning for a chance to get a free ticket.
Super cool. I'm sure there are many fans that want to sign up for that just to get a little glimpse of that trophy.
Absolutely. Exciting times. And also some great news for fans of Ted Lasso. The series producers have announced when you'll be able to watch the next season of the beloved sports comedy.
You're an American who's now in charge of a football club despite possessing very little knowledge of the game.
I know that AFC Richmond is going to give you everything they got, win or lose. Or tie. Right, y'all do ties here.
The show starring Jason Sudeikis will return for its 4th season this summer. The next season will follow Ted as he takes on a new challenge, coaching a women's soccer team. You love it?
I love Ted Lasso. It's wholesome. It's great. It doesn't take long to get into, too. You're pretty much hooked from the first couple of episodes.
Oh, I love those kind of shows.
And it's great acting, a wonderful story. Yeah, very excited because it's been a little bit.
Yeah,
been waiting,
okay.
Been waiting and waiting.
I saw you give the little fist pump when you found out.
I was excited. I actually was completely unaware prior to this today that this is happening.
Oh, great.
So it's a nice little happy surprise.
Amazing.
All right, well, coming up in the next hour, the Olympics are just over a week away. Can you believe that?
I know.
We're getting so close.
Crazy.
And an Ottawa man is getting ready to head to Milan for the games, so we will actually hear from him before he takes part in his second games. Melissa will have that conversation coming up. We continue with our new feature, Your Neighborhood, as we head back to Vanier. And we visit Hobby House. This is a local business that has been around since 1953. Wow. It was amazing. I cannot wait to share those details coming up. And sleep trackers are popular devices and apps, but how much can you really rely on them? And I'm talking about your sleep. We'll tell you some things that you should know before you invest in one of those devices. Heading outside, there's a 10-year glass sky cam. Still a little cool out there, so bundle up, but sunshine on the way. Happy Thursday, everyone. We'll be right back.
There is something special in every area. Join us for Your Neighborhood as we spotlight the people and places that bring the National Capital Region to life.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
It's Thursday, January 29th.
I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service.
Some officials are calling for compensation for frustrated riders as LRT service reductions and delays continue.
The center, here comes Giroux with Stutzla going to the net. Giroux scores! What a shot for Giroux! 3-1.
Ottawa hockey fans treated to 2 wins last night as the Charge and Senators dominate Wednesday night games.
And we're going to be hearing from a CHEO psychiatrist about barriers that young people are facing when it comes to quitting vaping. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Rosie is away for today.
She's away today, and our top story, once again, is going to be the OC Transpo as we continue to see some delays. Frustrated LRT passengers are looking for more answers after the latest transit issue this week led to major delays and crowded platforms. It has many wondering if they deserve compensation.
I'm going to cross my fingers, and yeah, I really hope that they just light a fire with this issue.
If there are savings from not paying RTG the full bill every month, then I think that's where there might be some wiggle room to provide some relief to passengers.
But while some riders are asking for refunds, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says that is not the way to go.
I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service.
Sutcliffe adds delivering reliable service is the top priority and that more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet. And while frustration with the transit system reaches a peak, there are questions about when the Ontario government will take over the LRT. Premier Doug Ford is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million, uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need. And we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
The Premier gave no indication as to why little progress has been made. The city needs this deal to address its nearly $50 million gap in its transit budget, and officials say that they've been hoping senior levels of government would step in.
Ottawa police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year after a man was stabbed to death in the Carlington area. Paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition, but police say the man later died from his injuries. This happened in the 1400 block of Mayview Avenue. 2 individuals are now in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Officers remain in the area as police believe there is an ongoing risk to public safety. The victim's name has not been released. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit.
Ottawa City Council has approved a new zoning bylaw that will change the way neighborhoods are built and developed right here in the capital for years to come. Councillors unanimously approved the final draft. The bylaw governs everything from the height of apartment buildings to where businesses can operate. The changes come following a review to give more freedom to builders so that more homes could become available. One of the most notable changes will be allowing a maximum height of 3 stories in most neighborhoods, with options to increase to 4 stories where appropriate. It means, in theory, that Ottawa suburbs could see more triplexes being built and rented out.
Turning now to the latest developments in reaction to federal job cuts, union leaders are issuing a warning about the impact of cuts and argue the government is keeping Canadians in the dark. Dozens of workers and union leaders gathered just outside the West Block yesterday. Now that MPs have returned to the House of Commons for the winter sitting of Parliament, union leaders are warning widespread layoffs across multiple departments will impact services many Canadians rely on, from food inspection and old age security to employment insurance, checks and passport delivery.
What will happen to these departments and agencies? Because the work doesn't go away. Someone has to do it. So the question is, what is their plan? Is it contracting out? Is it privatization? Because at the end of the day, people will be put at risk if that work is not done.
The federal government is looking to axe 28,000 jobs over 4 years as part of its comprehensive expenditure review to help save $60 billion.
There was a frightening situation at Ottawa's airport after a small plane slid off the runway. According to airport officials, the pilot reported issues with the landing gear before declaring an emergency. One side of the gear wouldn't lock in place, causing the aircraft to leave the runway. Photos posted to social media show the plane sitting in the snow beside the tarmac. Only the pilot was on board at the time and thankfully was not injured.
The excitement over Crave's hit show Heated Rivalry does not seem to be fading, and now fans' calls to release the police have been answered.
No surprise here. One of the main characters, Shane Hollander, wore this jacket in the show while he was playing for Team Canada in the Olympics. Since then, people have been wondering where to get it and even making their own version.
The show's production company is teaming up with a Canadian-owned clothing brand called Province of Canada, which will produce and sell the jacket. Now fans will be able to buy the internet-famous fleece jacket. Obsessed. I love this. You know, when I watched the show, I thought to myself, this is a great jacket. And I was wondering if, because the show is based like 10 years, 15 years ago in the setting. So I was like, oh, I wonder if that was like an old one. But no, they created it for the show. So now that fans can get their hands on it, it's incredible.
Fans, including yourself?
Yes,
Is that one that you would like to snag? Because I know you love it. Yeah.
It's a nice looking jacket. So pretty cool stuff.
See if I can get you one if you don't get one. That'd be a great gift, right?
That would be a great gift. And we also have your weather picture of the day today. And this was sent to us from Steve. It's wintry Buckham's Way.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we love seeing your weather shots, and it can be featured right here on the show. The best way to do so is email us weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. And your forecast today, temps will be below seasonal yet again. I know we're kind of used to it at this point. Average for this time of the year is around minus 5.9 degrees. We'll sit at minus 13. The good news is the sun up very shortly. 7:26 is when the sun will be up, and it will set still after 5 o'clock at 5:05 p.m. So those days just getting so much longer, which is so great to see. Temps right now, we are sitting at minus 17 here in the city. So these are temps without the wind chill. Minus 20 in the valley, minus 20 as well in Trenton, minus 13 currently in Brockville. These are now temperatures with the wind chill. So this is how it actually feels outside. Minus 24 for us here. Oh, look at that, it just changed. Minus 25 is how it feels here in the city. Minus 20 in Montreal, minus 23 in Kingston. So it is getting slightly colder as the morning goes on, and that's normal. Temperatures do fluctuate and drop usually a little bit in the morning hours. We are going to see a mix of sun and cloud when the sun is up shortly, and we will see that throughout most of the day today. Now, there is a chance we could see some scattered flurries until about noon hour today. Then it should clear up for the most part, and most of the flurries will stay around the Ottawa region, but we shouldn't get any more snow this week. It should stay nice and clear over the next few days. If your school day forecast today, temperatures will hover around minus 10 into the afternoon, so still a cold day ahead. It's not going to be overly warm throughout the afternoon today, but again, we could see those flurries this morning, but then sunshine in through the afternoon. Minus 12 for Cornwall today, minus 16 out in the valley, minus 11 in Trenton, minus 16 as well in Petawawa, minus 15 in Kittigan-Zibi today. So colder temperatures in through the afternoon today. Overnight low dropping all the way down to minus 22, and then cold over the next few days. Still in the minus double digits until Saturday, but lots of sunshine on the way to end off the work week. Then finally, a little bit of relief on the way as February enters the chat. Yes, not nearly as cold Sunday. Minus 9 is the high, so at least we're in the minus single digits. A little bit above seasonal as we head into Groundhog Day on February 2nd with a high of minus 4.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Oh, cannot wait for those sunshine-filled days. And as we head into the weekend, temperatures finally returning to somewhat seasonal. It has been so cold here in the capital over the last couple of weeks. As we take a look at the roads at this hour, starting to see that build up on the 417 from the split all the way till Maitland. The roads are looking really clear, though. Again, conditions over the last couple of days have started to soften. Still a little bit cold out there, so make sure you leave yourself plenty of time, maybe to get that extra layer of clothing on. Plenty of windshield washer fluid in the vehicles as well. Still a little bit messy, but no accidents or detours to let you know about. Melissa.
Although the numbers of adolescents taking up vaping has plateaued in Canada, youth vaping continues to be a crisis in need of attention. Local psychiatrist says there are barriers to the kind of support that would help them. And joining us today, we have Dr. Taya Rosic. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
We're excited to have you to talk more about this topic. Kind of give us the details on what you're seeing at CHEO in terms of our youth vaping.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm a child psychiatrist at CHEO, which means I work with young people who have mental health concerns or substance use health concerns. And I think these days we're seeing 3 really important things for youth who are vaping. The first thing being that many youth are still vaping. So even though numbers have plateaued, we're seeing many, many young people, like really 1 in 4 grade 12 students are vaping. So that's the first thing. The second thing that we're seeing is that young people are really struggling with their functioning as a result of vaping. So this cycle of needing to vape and then experiencing withdrawal symptoms that keeps them going is a big problem for their day-to-day functioning at school, in sports, etc. The final thing is that young people want to quit, right? So they're coming to us and they're saying they don't want to do this anymore, but they just can't stop. So that's the landscape with vaping right now.
Let's talk a bit more about vaping in general, because a lot of people think, oh, well, it's a safer alternative than cigarettes, but it's still not safe.
Exactly, yeah. So, vaping really started and was promoted as a way for adults to stop smoking. And I think that's where that kind of conversation came up.
Right.
But the reality is that the vast majority of teens would never have smoked, right? And they tell us that. They don't want to smoke, but they've started vaping anyway, right? And so then there's a lot of different health impacts, from mental health impacts to even physical health, things like their oral health, their respiratory or lung health, their functioning that's affected. The other thing is we just don't know what the long-term effects are, so it's quite a problem.
And tell us more about the barriers that are in place for helping our youth quit.
Yeah. I think that the biggest barrier that we see is that teens and parents and teachers don't necessarily know that there are things we can do to help, right? So young people are saying they want to make changes, but there's a sense that they have to do it by themselves. That's not true. So we have lots of things that we can do. There are medications that doctors can prescribe, anti-craving medications, nicotine replacement therapy. There's counseling that has very good evidence for effect. And so people need to know that they can come in and they can actually get help.
And because some of these things that can help you quit, our youth aren't able to access. So that's where it's better to come to CHEO, because you can help them access that.
Absolutely. So in Ottawa and in Eastern Ontario, onecallonclick.ca is really the entry point for mental health and substance use addictions vaping care. And so anyone can access One Call, One Click. Teens can go on the website and sign up themselves, parents, teachers, anyone that's working with a young person that wants to make a change or even wants to explore the option of making a change.
And so for parents out there who are concerned that their teen or their youth are vaping, where can they go for additional information?
So One Call, One Click is a great starting point. Yeah, there are many resources through Kids Come First, just even how to talk to your kid about substance use, right? And then for teens, how do I know if something is becoming a problem? So we've got lots of resources on things like that, and then they can start exploring and see, do they want to reach out for help and try to get on that path of making some changes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and helping us, with more information. We really appreciate it.
Well, the Olympics are just over a week away, hard to believe. And an Ottawa man is getting ready to head to Milan for the games. We're actually going to be speaking with him before he takes part in his not first, but second game appearance. That's coming up a little bit later on, and our guest is nice and cozy in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. We're going to take a peek outside, though, through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Oh, look at that Canadian swag. There it is. Probably a little toasty to wear that in here, but if you head back outside where it's cold, that jacket would come in handy. We are seeing some sunshine this afternoon. Happy little Friday, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back and happy Thursday, everybody. Here are some of the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. Premier Doug Ford is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province. Canada's premiers are meeting with the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, today with the upcoming CUSMA review in mind. And the Ottawa Police Service Homicide Unit is investigating a death that occurred in the Carlington area. Full details on that coming up shortly, but first we'll take a look at the forecast.
And we have another cold day ahead. Right now it feels closer to -25 outside. There is a chance of those scattered flurries early this morning, but then sunshine into the afternoon. Temperatures staying cold, -13 today. We'll still feel closer to -20 with that wind chill. On your roads this hour, we have no collisions, which is good news, but still, of course, some slowdowns on your drive-in this morning. It's a little bit heavier if you're heading 417. We're seeing some buildup at the 416 split in through Maitland on the eastbound lanes. Westbound, it's slow, 174 10th line in through Montreal, but all the bridges are moving well. And the Winter Olympics are just over a week away, and one athlete from Ottawa is gearing up for his second games. Mike Evelyn is a brakeman on Canada's Olympic bobsled team and joins us this morning before he leaves to Italy and literally leaving very shortly.
Yeah, on Saturday.
You're heading out on Saturday, so only a couple days away. How are you feeling knowing that it's coming up so soon?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, it's the culmination of 4 years of hard work, so we're pretty excited to get after it.
And now this isn't your first run. This is your second Olympics. Do you feel a bit more prepared going into your your second one, or what are your thoughts like?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the 2022 games just sort of happened to me. This time I'm a bit more ready for it.
Okay, and tell us a bit more about your training, because a lot of preparation goes into this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of sprinting, a lot of weightlifting. Think of me as like an oversized track athlete.
Okay, and tell us a bit more about how it works, because you're a brakeman. So what is your role kind of in the bobsled?
Yeah, absolutely. So myself and the pilot and the other brakemen, we all push the sled at the beginning. That's how we get the sled going. That's sort of the athletic component to it.
Okay.
After we get in the soapbox racer, essentially, we race down the ice chute at the bottom. I'm the one who pulls the brakes and brings the sled to a stop, so that's why we're called the brakeman.
And how many of you are there in the bobsled?
There's 4 of us in the 4-man event, and then there's also a 2-man event.
So you do 2 different events.
That's correct.
And so when are you jumping in? Because I know you kind of all have it simultaneously worked out, where one runs, jumps in, the second person. Where are you in the 4-man?
Yeah, there's some choreography to it. So in the 4-man event, I'm the second guy. So,
second guy who gets in.
Yeah, I hop off we call it the bunk, the back of the sled, from the left side, and jump in right behind the pilot.
And so when did you think, because you were a hockey player, when did you think that, wait, I'm going to transition from hockey to the bobsled?
Yeah, well, it wasn't actually my idea.
Okay.
I went to an event called RBC Training Ground.
Yeah.
It's basically a touring combine that RBC puts on. They go coast to coast across the country. They put on an event. They have one in Ottawa on April 11th at Ottawa University. And they do some basic sport testing. How high can you jump? How fast can you run? And I did really well, so I got invited back for a second round, and then there's all these recruiters there for different sports. So you can get into rowing, you can get into cycling, you can get into bobsled, skeleton. There's over a dozen sports that recruit from that event.
And when they said, I think you'd be a great bobsledder, what was your thought process like?
Yeah, I said, why not give it a shot?
Yeah.
You know, I was playing hockey at the university, at Dalhousie University, and that was coming to an end. You know, the alternative was a desk job, which I do have, but I said, why not also pursue another sport? And it ended up working out really well for me.
That's so crazy. And what was that first time like down the track? Because I imagine it would be very intense. Like, I see the speeds that you guys are going at. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, TV doesn't do it justice. There's not a lot of shock absorbing that happens. Every bump, you really feel it. You know, it's basically just metal and a little bit of carbon fiber between you and the ice. So it's a lot rougher than it looks.
And is it exhilarating though? Like, what speeds are you getting up to?
Yeah, it's a rush for sure. Actually, Whistler in Canada has the fastest track in the world. It goes a little over 150 kilometers an hour.
Oh my goodness, that's wild. And there's kind of another Ottawa connection, because one of your teammates used to play for the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Keaton Brugling is my teammate, so I'm on the left side, he's on the right side. So we're training partners. You know, he's Ottawa based. He's in Niagara now. He plays for the Tiger Cats now, but he's also Ottawa based. And then one of the pilots for the team, Jay Dearborn, also a training partner of mine, based in Kingston, but he's up in Ottawa training all the time as well.
Amazing. So many Ottawa connections. Well, we wish you all the luck. And where can we follow along your ventures? What's your IG handle?
Oh yeah, it's Mike Eve O'Higgs.
Okay, perfect. Well, best of luck, and we can't wait to see you
in
the Olympic Games. It's so exciting. We appreciate you stopping by.
Your neighborhood brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
All right, everyone, today we have a special treat for you. We are at Hobby House. This is generation after generation of incredible family business. This is where creativity gets to be born. It gets to continue from year after year as we continue to highlight all the wonderful businesses in your neighborhood. As we stick with Vanier, we have no one better to talk about this than Roger, who's one of the owners. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning.
I love this so much because, especially my family has a family business, and I know how important it is to have that year after year. Can you give a little insight from how Hobby House began with your father?
My father started it in 1953. And I, at the age of 19, and then I ended up joining him when I turned 18. I left high school and I started here. And I've been working with him side by side until he passed away in 2019, and we're still at it.
And it's so amazing. You talk about, you know, from your father to you, and you actually see that in your customers because you have people from your generation come in, but then their sons and daughters are coming in as well.
Yes, they are. We actually still have a customer that went to my father's first location who still comes in.
Does that mean a lot to you when you see those customers come in that maybe were there from the beginning?
It does. We pretty well know most of our customers by name. We know their children now.
And what is it about Hobby House? Because when you look around here in the store, there are so many different items that you can choose from. What is it about what you sell that brings you so much passion?
It's the fueling imagination. You're able to take something that you will probably never be able to be an astronaut or have one of these cars, and you're able to create it to be your own.
It's wonderful because
Yeah,
I have the perfect example for that, because I'm going to ask you in a second what one of your favorite items is. I'm going to show you what one of my favorite items is, and it's something I could never build in real person because I'm not smart enough. But this is the Titanic. Oh, upside down.
Yeah.
So this is the Titanic. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Classic love story, right?
It sure is. Yeah.
And it's great because you get to take something like this and you get to spend time because you build it, you paint it, you make it your own, and then you can have it in your house. Are there some items in this store that you still love today that are some of your favorites?
I prefer the monster models, the car models. You know, we have a lot of military people who tend to like the tanks.
Yeah.
You know, the pilots who like the aircraft. We have customers who've actually owned a lot of these car models, and they come in and they buy them, so they have a model of all the cars they've owned.
That's really cool, right? So you have that nostalgia feeling of something where you get to actually have it in your home.
Exactly. I had a customer come in the other day, and he said to me, I feel so, when I come in here, it brings me back to my youth. He says, this is so much better than therapy.
Just get that family feel. You know, you guys are so welcoming. I want to end it with, you know, is there something that you learned from your father that you instill with the store's passion every day?
I've learned that, you know, it's about repeat customers. You take care of your customers, you give them service, they will come back. It may not be today, but the next generation will come back. Like, we have families now that are bringing their kids going in. This is where I came as a child. So it's nice. It's very rewarding.
It's rewarding and it's remarkable. Roger, thanks for having me here today. And, you know, we better get going because this is probably going to take me some time, won't it?
It sure will. Are you going to do the sinking version? Or
You know I am.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Roger.
You are welcome.
And I loved it too, like talking about the history and about what it meant for him to carry on his father's legacy. Yeah. And it's just like a family in that store. And he even has an old Coca-Cola machine.
Oh, nice.
That people used to come in, and every single time that they'd browse the store, they would spend the 50 cents, grab a Coca-Cola, and tour the store. So it's just the history in that place is amazing.
And so many gems inside as well. What cool finds you can discover in there.
It's amazing. And if you love creating those artifacts too, like you go in there because like you said, there's cars, there's Marvel characters, there's toys, it's just everything.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
All right, well, do you know of a great local business that we should continue to highlight like you just saw there with Hobby House? Send us an email, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We're highlighting local businesses throughout the year in our Your Neighborhood segment. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Your Neighborhood, brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
Good morning. It is 7:30 a.m. on your Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today. If you're just joining us, you missed a great conversation Melissa had. We had an Olympian going towards the Milan Olympics this Saturday. Mike Evelyn was on the bobsled team. And it's so cool because that's such a unique sport, and you have to have like a really killer mindset to be able to do that.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, what's it really like going down the track? And he says TV doesn't do it justice. It's a lot bumpier and a lot less smooth than it looks on TV. So give them credit because they are going fast.
Yeah, good luck to him. If you did miss it, you can go to our website and you can rewatch that interview with Melissa. We'll get to our news headlines for now. Commuters are looking for some answers and accountability after a stalled train during rush hour Tuesday forced passengers to disembark and walk to the nearest station. It is the latest in a number of incidents that has riders wondering if they deserve some compensation.
It's frustrating. It's disappointing. I think there should be something by way of compensation. It's just some, free ridership, something like that.
But while some riders are asking for refunds, Ottawa's mayor says that is not the solution.
I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm irritated by the challenges we've had with public transit. But the team at OC Transpo is doing everything it can to improve service. What I hear over and over again from residents is they don't want refunds. They want better service.
Sutcliffe says more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet, and discussions have been ongoing with the Premier on uploading the light rail system towards the province, but he was unable to provide a timeline. Here's what the Premier had to say.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million, uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need, and we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
The Premier gave no indication as to why little progress has been made so far. The Mayor says he's hoping to meet with the province soon to try and move those talks forward.
Ottawa police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year after a man was stabbed to death in the Carlington area. Paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition, but police say the man later died from his injuries. This happened in the 1400 block of Mayview Avenue. 2 individuals are now in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Officers remain in the area as police believe there is an ongoing risk to public safety. The victim's name has not been released. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit.
Canada's premiers are meeting with the Prime Minister today with the upcoming CUSMA review in mind.
We know President Trump's rules. There are no rules with him. So we need to focus on what we can do.
In any negotiation, there's, on both sides, there's some people that are kind of out front with more bluster. We're certainly seeing that.
It's going to be an exciting couple days as we...
The Premier started their winter meetings just days after U.S. President Donald Trump leveled that new 100% tariff threat against Canada. The U.S. Treasury Secretary also had a warning for Prime Minister Carney after his speech at Davos.
I would not pick a fight going into USMCA to score some cheap political points. Either you are working for your own political career or you're working for the Canadian people.
The USMCA.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary did also say in that interview, "I think we will end up in a good place." CUSMA comes up for review in July.
Several people are responding to a new snow removal idea for the city of Ottawa, and it's something that's already being done in some municipalities. If you have a driveway, you've likely dealt with the dreaded windrow, the pile left behind by a passing plow. Some municipalities like Mississauga have specialized equipment to clear windrows. It costs taxpayer around $50 per household per year.
The machines come in and they just push the snow in front of the driveways. It's just like, why not push it down the street or push it over there? Like,
it'd be worth it for the convenience, but I don't know if I want to pay extra taxes.
And while many residents say it would be a great addition to snow removal, the city says Ottawa is simply too big and similar program would cost too much.
Dozens of people gathered outside the U.S. Embassy along Sussex Drive last night for a vigil in memory of Alex Preddy, the ICU nurse fatally shot by a U.S. Border Patrol officer over the weekend in Minneapolis.
I've been wondering a lot since his murder, what's making this resonate so much with people. That
U.S. officials said Preddy, who had a permit to carry a gun, was armed and officers fired defensively at a protest on Saturday. His death has sparked widespread outrage and further protests as bystander videos don't appear to show Preddy holding a weapon before he was shot. Preddy was the second American citizen killed this month during ongoing immigration enforcement crackdowns in Minnesota.
It was a slow commute on the 417 last night after an excavator fell off a transport truck. Ontario Provincial Police were on scene of the westbound 417 just past Moody Drive. 2 lanes were blocked with delays backed up from the 416 for about 90 minutes. Paramedics say they were not called to the scene. Drivers were advised to plan alternate routes. Police say the cause of the incident is under investigation.
And what you're about to see here is one of the risks of parking your cars on the street in the winter. This video shared with CTV News shows a snowplow hitting a parked car in Toronto. The plow took the panel off one of the back doors. Windows on the driver's side were also shattered. The city says the contractor will pay for the damage.
Well, last week, Will split his pants, and yes, we had a good laugh at it. And now our friends at CTV News also had a little bit of fun, which is now being known as our blooper reel. Here's CTV's Jackie Perez live at 5 for Brianne Jenner bobblehead night at TD Place Arena.
And I do want to show off, what is this? It is the Brianne Jenner bobblehead, which I'm going to drop soon. I can't break it. I promised the director Marlene I wouldn't drop it. So there it is.
Yeah, great reflexes by Jackie. There were 6,000 bobbleheads up for grabs. This was the final game for the Charge before the Olympic break.
Gotta love those blooper reels. And I feel like there's one almost every day in some sort of capacity.
Yeah.
Today I decided to spell out Coca-Cola instead of saying Coca-Cola. I said C-O-C-A because, you know, why not?
Sometimes when it comes up in the words, it's maybe something you don't see or it's up there in the prompter and the brain just see something different.
And you know, in my defense, it's because it was a website and then it had the COCA here and then the cola was underneath. So it split the word. So I didn't see it as Coca-Cola. I saw it as Coca.
Yeah, which does happen from time to time. I split my pants. You mispronounced words. That's
Nothing is as good as the split pants. So, and if you don't know what we're talking about, you can also head to our online social media. You have it on your social platforms.
Oh, yes, it has taken off. I think we're over 600,000 views now on social media.
Keep it
so
going.
everyone just can keep replaying it over and over again.
Well, I'm glad it was you and not me.
But yeah, I'll take that one today.
Another cold day ahead for us here in the nation's capital. For your forecast, we could still see some flurries this morning into the afternoon. Sunny, but yes, still cold. The good news is lots of beautiful sunshine as we head throughout the weekend. Currently sitting at -17, but you could see a mix of sun and cloud out there to start your day off. -13 in Montreal, as well as in Brockville. -20 currently in Trenton. -21 in Pembroke. Now here are temps with the wind chill. Feels like -30 in the valley. Feels like -25 for us here in the city. It feels like -23 in Kingston. So as you can see, a very cold start to your morning. The nice thing is the sun is up. It was up at 7:26 a.m. and what will continue to shine throughout most of the day today. There is still a chance we could see some flurries early this morning until about noon hour. Then it should clear up and we will see clear skies overnight. And over the next few days, we will see more sunshine on the way. So not a lot of snow for us over the next few days. It will stay cold in through the weekend though, and then we have warmer temperatures as February arrives. Temps this morning for morning recess, mix of sun and cloud hovering in the high teens to start off your day. We will reach a high then of -13 late this afternoon, but yes, it will still feel closer to -20 with that wind chill. So still a cold day ahead, even though it will be nice and sunny, not really warming things up too much. And cold across the region, as you can see, in the minus double digits for your daytime highs today. -16 in the valley, -11 Trenton, Kingston, -15 for your high in Bancroft today, -13 Gatineau, Mont-Tremblant. Still good news as we prepare for Winterlude, of course. The Rideau Canal Skyway also loving these cold conditions, and it will stay cold in through the weekend and then warm up slightly as we head into February. -13 tomorrow, again, more sunshine on the way for Friday. Saturday, Sunday, lots of sunny skies. -10 for Saturday, then Sunday finally warming up into the minus single digits, so we will see a few milder days ahead, especially Monday. Temperatures will be above seasonal with a high of -4. On your roads, eastbound on the 417, we are seeing buildup at the 416 split in through Maitland. Westbound on the 174, it's heavy from 10th Line Road in through Montreal Road.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
All right, it is time for the Bennett Real Estate Rundown. Today we are checking out 3 properties available right now with Taylor Bennett from Bennett Property Shop. Good morning to you, my friend. Good
morning.
And I love this, all 3 homes under $1 million.
Yes,
And all very different.
All very different, but also not too far apart from each other. They're all in the south end, Riverside South, Manotick. Great area if you haven't been down there in the south. It's obviously a full sustaining community down there, some great recreation centers down there. My nephews live down there. They play football for Myers Riders and the Eagles and things like that. So it's a lot of facilities, great family area, and we're going to showcase the different styles of homes down there.
Oh, I love that too, especially right now. Maybe we're in our home, and you know what? It's too cold in this house. We need to think about a new home.
Yes.
Let's walk through this first one.
Yes, this lovely home here in Rocky Harbor Crescent here is a fantastic home. It is sitting on a pie-shaped lot, meaning it's a little bit more narrow at the front, but very, very expansive at the back, and you'll see some of these photos. Beautiful, stunning kitchen with nice neutral colors that are in there. Very spacious bedrooms as well. Full kind of folded wall-to-ceiling tiles there that you see again. Those neutral colors that aren't going to be out of style. Double car garage. And I believe we have a shot of the backyard a little bit later on, but a nice pie-shaped backyard. You have a deck out there. You could put a skating rink back there right now if you really wanted to. It's a nice, big and deep, again, pie-shaped backyard. Great for a family to grow into, and this is listed for $999.
And you said the words that I think everyone wants to hear. Double car garage.
Yes.
No worrying having to clear the car off in the morning.
A lot of people don't park their car in the garage. If they have a single car garage, it's just used for storage. You got a double, you can at least put one in there, use the other half for storage, and then you're good to go.
I love that, especially there. Put the cars in the garage and then maybe have that backyard rink in the backyard.
Yeah.
What a perfect combination.
Absolutely.
We're heading to Coast Circle next.
Yes, Coast Circle. This one's listed for $899, and this is a rare semi-detached bungalow. Now, meaning attached on one side and is a bungalow. 2 bedrooms upstairs, a 3rd bedroom downstairs. Nice and spacious. Nice advantage with having a semi-detached bungalow. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. If you're looking for a bungalow in this area, you're looking at well over $1 million. So
wow,
$899 for price. Great entry price and great for downsizers as well. Fully finished basement with a bedroom and a full bathroom down there. So if you have some people that do visit, or maybe you have somebody that's going to be living with you, they want their own independent space. They've got the nice downstairs to themselves. And again, being semi-detached means you have a little bit less exterior maintenance than you would with a fully detached apartment. So if you're looking, or a bungalow. So if you're looking to downsize some of the maintenance in your life, a fantastic option here. And finding a bungalow in Manotick for under $1 million is quite rare. So $899, a fantastic price for this one.
Yeah, I feel like now when people see this, they're going to be contacting you. Hey, is this still available after that one? Under $1 million in Manotick.
Yep.
And super bright in there too, right? Lots of space in that main floor and really bright coming through.
Absolutely. A lot of light coming in. That makes a big difference because sometimes bungalows, you only have the one level of windows, of course, coming in there. So the side windows bringing that extra light in there, and the exposure of how that house is situated obviously maximizes for the light as well.
Love that. All right, you got one more before we let you go.
Yes, one more. Another semi-detached, but this is a 2-story semi-detached, and this is found in the Barrhaven area. So a little bit larger than your typical townhouse that you would have, a little bit wider, a little more room on that end. And being semi-detached, we're listed at $699. So $700,000 basically. Fully finished basement in this guy as well. And just like the other properties, fully neutral colors. You're not going to have to worry about updating them or changing them or painting on them unless you have some personal style. Fully fenced backyard as well, which is great if you have any critters or little ones you don't have to escape. So a great family home there for $699.
I love the basement too. That looked nice and cozy. Get the kids down there, maybe pop in a movie, watch the sports teams, watch the Sens in charge getting some wins.
Yeah, for sure. Strange against the best team in the league. Fantastic. But a great growing home there and a great growing neighborhood, and your walks streets away from a couple of parks as well in that last one.
I love that. Yeah, such a great neighborhood. Always love when you come on. Just some houses that are for sale right now available. And if they want to reach you to maybe check out some of those homes, what's the place to get a hold of you?
Check us out on social media, of course, Bennett Property Shop or BennettPros.com for more info. And you can get a sneak peek. Many of these were able to be seen by our private clients before they hit the public market.
The legend Taylor Bennett joining us again. Thanks, my friend.
No problem. Anytime.
And don't forget, you can listen to the Bennett Real Estate and Wealth Show with Marty Bennett Saturdays. That's at 1 p.m. on News Talk 580 CFRA. And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, sleep trackers are popular devices and apps, but how much can you really rely on them? And we find out some details from Andrew Holmes with sleep efficiency coming up. There he is, nice and cozy on that couch. Yeah, maybe he could take a nap there, track it, and then tell us how his nap results are. He's standing by in the CTV Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Let's take a peek outside, shall we? Throw us into the old sky cam, and yay, another day with some sunshine, and temperatures are going to be on the way up as we head into the weekend. Brightness and warmth in our near future. Stay with us, and happy Thursday, everyone.
Well, sleep trackers have exploded in popularity in recent years. While they can be useful tools, there are some things that you should know before you invest in a new device. So let's bring in Andrew Holmes from Sleep Efficiency to tell us more. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, these are all the rage, and I was telling you, like, I'm all blinged out with my sleep trackers, but what do we need to know about sleep trackers?
So first of all, there's over 100 different types that have actually hit the market now, and you kind of break them down into 2 different sections. You've got the apps on your phone, and then you've got the wearables.
Okay.
The apps, you can pretty much dismiss right away. They're really just recording like an audio channel, somewhat gimmicky. You know, it's going to tell you that it captured some snoring kind of thing. But the wearables have actually improved tremendously. Rewind about 10 years ago when the Fitbit first came on, they were just basing it on body movement, which is called actigraphy. So the notion there was, you know, you haven't moved in 2 or 3 hours, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we're going to say that you're pretty much awake. What we've done now is been able to kind of move into the Apple Watches, the Oura Rings, those are the most popular ones, and they're actually able to capture a lot more than what was once thought. We've got here the...
All right, let's move on and tell us what they can and can't tell you.
What they can and can't tell you, exactly. So the Oura Rings and the Apple Watches as the most prominent ones, ultimately they're pulling all of these different metrics, all of these different channels. They're looking at oxygen levels, they're looking at heart rate, they're looking at heart rate variability, which is the timing in between the beats. They're looking at body temperature, they're looking at sweat secretions. So all of these signals kind of add up and paint a picture with your sleep, not only between sleep and wake, but they're actually able to break down further between your light sleep, deep sleep, and your REM. Where you want to be careful, though, is the accuracy. Now, the Oura Ring, for instance, is one of the champions, the standouts in the space. It has about an 88 to 92% accuracy rate, breaking down not only sleep and wake, but breaking down further into that light sleep, deep sleep, and REM. The Apple Watch, while it has about an 85% accuracy rate between sleep and wake, it can't really differentiate much further beyond light sleep, deep sleep, and REM. The percentages there is only about 50% accuracy rate. So it can distinguish between those two, but when it breaks it down further into those different sleep stages, it can be a bit of a challenge. So you have to be careful. You know, often it's overestimating in some areas and underestimating in the others.
All right, well, let's keep on moving and learn more about when sleep data can become an issue.
Right. Well, we've become kind of a data-obsessed society now. And I'd say it's becoming an issue if you're waking up first thing in the morning and the first thing you do is look to your sleep score.
Okay.
If you're looking at that score and that score is basically telling you how you're supposed to feel for the day, that's probably an issue. If you're saying the day's a write-off because I got a lousy sleep score, you know, that's becoming a little bit too much. There's actually something called orthosomnia now, which, and we've talked about on the show, just to touch on it briefly, it's the inability to fall asleep and or stay asleep due to fear and anxiety of achieving optimal sleep induced by sleep tracking devices.
Okay.
So when you start obsessing over it and you're relying on that device to tell you how you feel throughout the day, I'd say that's probably an issue.
Okay, good advice. And the last point you say is how to use them the right way.
The right way. So I would look at this as more of a lifestyle tool.
Okay.
You don't want to focus on the morning headlines. I would say look at the weekly trends.
Okay.
You know, just like if you were on a weight loss program, you wouldn't get on the scale every single morning.
Right.
You'd probably look at it on a weekly or a monthly basis. So you can use these trackers and these wearables, specifically the wearables, to kind of influence your lifestyle habits and changes. You know, use it as proper sleep hygiene guiding techniques. That would be the best thing. Keep in mind, it's not a diagnostic tool. At Sleep Efficiency, we actually offer home-based sleep tests. So if there's an issue, if there's constant fatigue, if there's chronic snoring, we can do a clinically validated test. So, you know, it can show some insights, but ultimately, if the sleep problem still persists and you're noticing dips over time, then maybe a diagnostic test from Sleep Efficiency would probably be the way to go.
Wonderful. What's the best way to reach you?
Sleepefficiency.ca. Patients can self-refer. We have these devices being delivered to your front door, reviewed by a respirologist. So these are a great tool to have. But again, don't place too much weight on the accuracy, especially depending on which one you're using, because there is a lot of discrepancy sometimes depending on the actual tool.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning and breaking it all down.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And coming up on your morning Ottawa winter adventure at Park Omega, we'll tell you more about the winter programming at this great local attraction. And of course, our guests are standing by right there in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge.
It is time for those milestone celebrations for today, Thursday, January 29th. Let's start with number 1. Happy 13th birthday, Angelique. We wish you all the best, and we are very proud of you. Keep smiling and dancing from your family, brother Anthony, and cousins Alexis and Tally. Double digits birthday, happy 10th birthday to our sweet and kind baseball-loving grandson, Sawyer. Sending much love from Nanny and Papu in the stars, XOXO. If you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. Kids turning 13 or younger, 100 or more, or wedding anniversaries, 100 years, or more. Or wedding anniversaries, 50 years, 50 years for wedding anniversaries. You got a 100-year wedding anniversary, don't you worry. We want that. We want that too. With much advice, email us your morning auto milestones at ctv.ca and we will get that on air. And coming up in the next hour, we continue our Winter Adventure Week. We got Park Omega coming in. We'll tell you about the winter programming at this great local attraction. Winterlude officially kicks off tomorrow with a number of events and activities to enjoy, including a free mini powwow at the Canadian Museum of History. We'll tell you what you can expect and experience the city through food at Taste Ottawa Capital City Bites. We have all those delicious details coming up. Look at how beautiful it is through our sky cam. The sun is shining. Temperature's still a little cool, but we will take the sunshine. Stay with us. Happy Little Friday. We'll be right back. It's Thursday, January 29th.
I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service.
Some officials are calling for compensation for frustrated riders as LRT service reductions and delays continue.
The center, here comes Giroux with Stutzla going to the net. Giroux scores!
Ottawa hockey fans treated to 2 wins last night as the Charge and the Senators dominate Wednesday night games.
And today's winter adventure takes us to Park Omega, just an hour outside of Ottawa. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Rosie is away for today.
And we are going to be highlighting Park Omega. It is so funny because I've been away for so many years. I forgot how great Park Omega is.
Good.
We will not have the animals here in studio today.
Yes.
But there's some great activities which you're going to be having a discussion with coming
and
up.
Some newer features that they have. They're like sleeping with wolves. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. So we're going to learn more about that and learn more about how much it costs for a family to go and visit, which is great.
Can't wait for those details coming up. Let's start with OC Transpo. Frustrated LRT passengers are looking for some more answers after the latest transit issue this week led to major delays and crowded platforms. It has many wondering if they deserve compensation.
I'm going to cross my fingers and yeah, I really hope that they just light a fire with this issue.
If there are savings from not paying RTG the full bill every month, then I think that's where there might be some wiggle room to provide some relief to passengers.
But while some riders are asking for refunds, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says that is not the way to go.
I think it's financially irresponsible for us to talk about giving money to our riders when we should be giving that money to OC Transpo to provide better service.
Sutcliffe adds delivering reliable service is the top priority and that more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet. And while frustration with the transit system reaches a peak, there are questions about when the Ontario government will take over the LRT. Premier Doug Ford is facing renewed pressure to follow through on his promise to upload the LRT to the province.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million, uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need, and we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
The Premier gave no indication as to why little progress has been made so far. The city needs this deal to address its nearly $50 million gap in its transit budget, and officials say that they've been hoping senior levels of government would step in.
Ottawa police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year after a man was stabbed to death in the Carlington area. Paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition, but police say the man later died from his injuries. This happened in the 1400 block of Mayview Avenue. 2 individuals are now in custody and the investigation is ongoing. Officers remain in the area as police believe there is an ongoing risk to public safety. The victim's name has not been released. Anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit.
Ottawa City Council has approved a new zoning bylaw that will change the way neighborhoods are built and developed here in the capital for years to come. Councillors unanimously approved the final draft. The bylaw governs everything from the height of the apartment buildings to where businesses can operate. The changes come following a review to give more freedom to builders so that more homes could become available. One of the most notable changes will be allowing a maximum height of 3 stories in most neighborhoods, with options to increase to 4 stories where it's appropriate. It means, in theory, that Ottawa suburbs could see more triplexes being built and rented out.
Turning now to the latest developments. In reaction to federal job cuts, union leaders are issuing a warning about the impact of cuts and argue the government is keeping Canadians in the dark. Dozens of workers and union leaders gathered just outside the West Block yesterday. Now that MPs have returned to the House of Commons for the winter sitting of Parliament, union leaders are warning widespread layoffs across multiple departments will impact services many Canadians rely on, from food inspection, old age security to employment insurance checks and passport delivery.
What will happen to these departments and agencies? Because the work doesn't go away. Someone has to do it. So the question is, what is their plan? Is it contracting out? Is it privatization? Because at the end of the day, people will be put at risk if that work is not done.
The federal government is looking to axe 28,000 jobs over 4 years as part of its comprehensive expenditure review to help save $60 billion.
There was a frightening situation at Ottawa's airport after a small plane slid off the runway. According to airport officials, the pilot reported issues with the landing gear before declaring an emergency. One side of the gear wouldn't lock in place, causing the aircraft to leave the runway. Photos posted to social media show the plane sitting in the snow beside the tarmac. Only the pilot was on board at the time and thankfully was not injured.
At City Hall, councillors voted to explore further options to protect the Canada Golf and Country Club from being developed. A motion from Councillor Kathy Curry called on staff to look at options to secure the long-term protection of the land, including potentially acquiring the property. The site has been the subject of legal battles for years. Currently, 1,500 homes are set to be built on the golf course lands. Councillors also confirmed that Ottawa taxpayers are now the new owners of an East End dump that is being purchased for $95 million. Now that it has been bought, city staff will work to integrate it into the waste management plan. More details will be available next year. Canada Post is honoring Black Canadian hip-hop icons.
This is a throwdown, a showdown. Hell no, I can't slow down. It's gonna go.
Maestro Fresh West is one of the stars featured on the new stamps honoring hip-hop for Black History Month. Michi Me and Quebec trio Muzion are also featured.
Me, who was known as the godmother of Canadian rap, said being featured on the stamp means the world to her and her loved ones. Look at those beautiful colors on those stamps as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love when we hear those tracks coming in too, and I love that we're highlighting some of those amazing features in the songs. And even when you just hear that song, we already get into it. It's like, what a perfect song for a Thursday, too.
And we've had Maestro Fresh West on our show before, so exciting times. Look forward to that.
We also have some exciting times coming up in the weather because finally, in a couple of days, we will see some warmer temperatures rise.
A little relief on the way. You know, we've been dealing with very below seasonal temperatures over the last several weeks, and it has been a very cold winter and a very snowy winter with more snow to come, but hopefully a little bit of break from that cold. Today's high -13, normal for this time of the year is around -5.9, and of course the sun today setting after 5, setting at 5:05 p.m. So we do have a nice long day in the forecast for us. Still cold to start things off, a little bit windy out there right now. We are sitting at -18, so temps have dropped a little bit this morning. That's normal. Usually we drop a little bit in the morning. We get a little colder before we warm up in through the afternoon. -15 in Kingston, the Valley currently sitting at -22. Now let's factor in the wind chill and see how cold it is outside. Feels like -30 out in the Valley, -28 for Ottawa today, -23 in Kingston. So it has gotten a little bit colder within the last half an hour. It will be cold over the next hour before we warm up around 9 o'clock. We will see a mix of sun and clouds, so at least we're getting to see some sunshine throughout this morning. We will continue to see that this afternoon. There is a chance we could still see some flurries until about noon hour today. Then after that, that's when it will clear up. Skies will stay clear tonight and more sunshine on the way Friday in through the weekend. Today's high -13, but again, with that wind chill, feeling closer to -20 into your afternoon. So still a cold day ahead. -16 for the Valley today, -11 is your high. high for Trenton as well as in Kingston. Minus 13 is the daytime high in Gatineau and minus 15 in Kittakinsippi. Over the next 7 days, we will see a break from these cold conditions as we head through the weekend. Minus 22 tonight, minus 13 for tomorrow, minus 10 on Saturday. So temps staying in the minus double digits until Saturday. And then February arrives on Sunday. A little bit warmer. We're at least in the minus single digits, and we will stay that way in through next week. Very mild on Monday with a high of minus 4, so that's actually a little bit above norm. Fairly average as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. We are still collision free out there on your drive-in, which is great news. So no major issues east to west, just dealing with that regular volume now on your highways this morning. We do have a disabled vehicle westbound on the 417 at Island Park. It does have the right lane closed. It is causing a few delays, so keep that in mind. And just still seeing that volume in the 416 split to Maitland, westbound 174 heavy from 10th line through Montreal Road. And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, a winter adventure at Park Omega. We're going to get the details on how you and your family can visit this winter of this great local attraction coming up next. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass Skycam this morning. Bright and sunny, but yes, cold, feeling closer to minus 28 this morning. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:11.
Today's snow report brought to you by Mont Cascade, only 20 minutes from Ottawa.
And here are your ski conditions for today. Mont Cascade has 3 lifts open and 15 runs. Elsewhere on the mountains throughout the Ottawa area, at Calabogie Peaks, they have 2 lifts open. You can find 4 lifts open at Vorlage, 23 of 27 runs at Camp Fortune, and 14 runs at Edelweiss.
An amazing ski day deserves an awesome place to warm up. At Mont Cascade, our lodge brings the mountains to life. Share great stories over great food at Mont Cascade.
Our Winter Adventures Week continues today, and today we're heading West Quebec to learn more about Park Omega and what they have to offer this time of the year. Gabrielle Bellamy is joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa. It's a pleasure to be with you.
I am so excited because you have so many new things. I was telling you, I visited Park Omega like 10 years ago, and lots has changed since then.
A lot of changes then.
Okay, tell us a little bit about what Park Omega is for people who've never been.
Yeah, Park Omega, as you said, is 45 minutes from Ottawa. We have a 2,200-acre land, and we aim to offer, to educate people by wonder, and we achieve so by offering a natural experience where animals roam free on their natural environment.
Okay.
And the people will just drive around and see what the Ottawa region have to offer.
So for people who've never been, you're basically in your car and you're driving through the animals' natural habitats. Can you tell us what kind of animals people will get to meet or experience?
So exactly. So Park Omega offer mainly North American animals and North Hemisphere animals. So all our animals basically live in their natural environment, right?
Cool.
We have this drive-through, 12 kilometers drive-through, and you drive around hundreds of elk, boar, many cervids, and there we're gonna have an exhibit of animal. But we also have a walking part or land of pioneers and land of and trail of First Nation there, where you can also see smaller animal. We have a lot of novelty since the last 10 years when you came.
So you can get out and walk around and have like an interactive experience with the animals.
Exactly. You walk around and you're gonna have white-tailed deer, fallow deer that come around you while you walk, and you can see our beaver in their natural lake, wolf, and wolverine.
Some incredible animals that you typically don't see, like are these bison that we're getting to see, and moose?
Yes. So every North American, you can pretty much think about it. We probably have it. Our requirement is our animal. We want them to live in their natural habitat. So you won't see animal that have to go inside during the winter because the land or the weather will not be appropriate.
Okay, tell us about this new experience that you can sleep with wolves.
Yes, so it's already been open for a couple of years now, but it was so popular that we had to open more. So now we actually have availability. So we have many price point where you can actually sleep with wolf. So you have this nice chalet with a big window, and you have actually the wolf pack, and you get to see the interaction, how the wolf pack behave with each other. You can hear. I sleep there once in a while. Obviously, you have to test the product.
Can you hear them howling and stuff at night too?
Absolutely. hear them
wild.
howling in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It's truly an amazing experience. And Park Omega always been like in the innovative side. We were the first one to push that kind of product in Canada.
Tell us about some new experiences, a new restaurant.
Yes, so talking about innovation, so we're quite proud. We opened a new restaurant this Christmas. So it's actually, it's an immersive restaurant with Arctic fox and bear. And we actually built a bear den, totally comfortable, where when the bear can sleep inside there and people can see the bear hibernating. So it was quite an interesting thing because a lot of people think a bear, when they hibernate, they completely sleep and there's nothing happens. So obviously they sleep a lot, but they will wake up once in a while just to gather up the hay and the leaves around and put it back. Maybe they will walk around a little bit. So people can now come and observe that. I think we're the first one in North America to do that.
So you could literally be eating your lunch and just watching what the bears are doing in their den.
Yeah. Eating your lunch or at our restaurant, which is a really good restaurant, honestly.
That's incredible. And I saw there was other more immersive experiences, like there's tobogganing, you have a hill and you can enjoy, is it maple on a stick? There's so many fun things for kids.
That's the thing. So Park Omega is open all year round, 5 days a year, And yeah, we invite people to come to winter because it's a little less people in there and we love the activity. So, for example, this weekend we have the Sugar Fest. There's going to be music over there. There's going to be taffy on snow. Over there, a special menu for there. We also have always our tubing available, all include our treetop trail, snowshoeing available. So Park Omega is not only viewing animal, it's like a nature immersive experience that we try to offer.
So much fun. And how much does it cost for a family to visit?
So for an adult will be around $40–45 and will be half price for a kid, so around 150 American for the family. But it's really a place where you can pass all day, stay in your car on a colder day. You can walk snowshoe. We have many different trails, walking with animal, stay there for a restaurant, or enjoy one of our accommodations.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We truly appreciate it. Again, if you want more information, parkomega.ca. It's only about a 45-minute drive from Ottawa, so not too far. You get a full day with nature and animals. Thank you again.
So it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
I hope you will come visit us.
Yes,
You're welcome.
I'm going to have to take the kids. They will absolutely love it.
Thank you very much, Melissa.
You're welcome. Lots more to come here on Your Morning Ottawa as we take a look at your sky cam this morning. It is cold outside, feels closer to -28 this hour. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:19. Well, we are gearing up for Winterlude, and there is a way that you can check out a free mini powwow happening on Sunday. Here with more details, we have Val and Trina. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Okay, give us the details on what's happening on Sunday.
So on Sunday, we're having a mini powwow at the Museum of History there in Gatineau. And it's open and welcome to everybody. It's going from 11 to 4 on Sunday.
Amazing. And can you kind of explain what it will be like for people who want to come and visit?
Yeah, I think it'll be a really great opportunity for people to come and visit from all over. Typically, we have our powwows only during the summer months.
Okay.
So it kind of feels like we haven't seen people in a long time and we want to get together. So this is why this Winterlude powwow is very important, to see familiar faces and get together.
And this is all part of Winterlude's experience where people can experience the Indigenous culture as well.
Absolutely. Everybody's welcome to come and attend.
And what does it mean to you to, have more people who are participating in Winterlude get to experience your culture?
That's a great question. It feels really nice to see everybody. Our groups did start out to be very small, and they've grown quite a bit over the years. So we are very grateful to see familiar faces, but also new faces as well, to come and dance and see everybody.
And tell us what they can expect, because there's always so many bright colors, the music, there's dancing. Can you kind of give us the details on what people will be able to see?
Yeah, so we've kind of compacted. So our powwow would normally be over multiple days. So this is kind of everything compact in one day. So they will see the drums. We have singers and the big powwow drums. They will witness a grand entry, which is where all of our invited guests, our veterans and our elder and all of our dancers enter the circle. And then they'll see all the different dance styles, that'll do specials, and we have from kids to, you know, our elders dancing, and so it's a really great experience.
And the costumes, absolutely works of art. How much work and preparation does it go into these beautiful costumes?
Yeah, so a great thing is these, what we call regalias. They're traditional wear for Indigenous peoples, and they take a lot of time. So they can take a whole year for people to make in preparation to the summer months. There's constantly grandmothers, aunties, cousins working on these pieces, and they are all homemade. They're homemade by family members, by friends, etc., and they're pouring their loves into these regalias to give out to dancers around the circle.
And the beadwork is absolutely stunning. Like you mentioned, it's all handmade, so it must take hours.
It does. It takes a long time. So my regalia specifically, it was designed by myself. It was sewn and created by my mother, and then I do all of my own beadwork. So my full set, I don't have it all today, unfortunately. It is pretty early this morning.
That's all right.
But it did take me about a year to create my full beaded set. So a lot of work goes into it.
Amazing. And what will you be performing for us here today, Belle?
Today I'll be doing the jingle dress style. That's the style that I dance. It comes from a little bit of a more traditional aspect. It is a more modern type of dance, but it's called a healing dance. So it's a prayer dance, and it was done by a young girl of the name of Maggie White, who was very sick and actually on her deathbed. Her grandfather dreamt this dress and wanted to create it, so he asked for the community's help to create a dress that's thought to have healing properties due to the sound, which we'll hear a little bit later. The sound that it makes kind of gives off endorphins of happiness. So whenever Maggie put the dress on for the first time, she was able to sit up in bed, able to walk down to the powwow arbor, and then by the end of the full song, she could dance around the circle.
That's an incredible story. All right, well, we're going to step out and we're going to let you take it away for us here this morning. Amazing. Thank you so much, Val and Trina, for both joining us today. And where can people go to find out more information and to partake in the festivities?
Yes, absolutely. So you can find more information at medawaki.ca or directly on the Museum of History's website. And everyone's welcome. It's 11 to 4 this Sunday on the 1st.
And is it a free event as well?
It is a free event,
yes. Free event. Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We look forward to kicking off all the festivities. We appreciate it. Will.
Well, coming up in the Deloria Kitchen, we're going to experience Ottawa through fine dining experience. Ooh, and it is going to be so good. I'm just itching. I'm just waiting. Everything smells really good. I know you can't smell it through the camera, but I can confirm with you it is very good. We'll share all those details. 50 restaurants are included in this. That's coming up shortly. We're going to take a peek outside, though, because, ooh, temperatures still feeling on the cold side, but nice to see that beautiful sun on your mini Friday. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today, and we're going to get right into our news stories, and we're starting with OC Transpo. Commuters are looking for answers and accountability after a stalled train during rush hour Tuesday forced passengers to disembark and walk to the nearest station. It is the latest in a number of incidents that have riders wondering if they deserve some compensation.
It's frustrating, it's disappointing, I think there should be something by way of compensations, just some, free ridership, something like that.
But while some riders are asking for refunds, Ottawa's mayor has a different tone.
I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, I'm irritated by the challenges we've had with public transit. But the team at OC Transpo is doing everything it can to improve service. What I hear over and over again from residents is they don't want refunds, they want better service.
Sutcliffe says more mechanics have been hired to help fix the aging bus fleet, and discussions have been ongoing with the Premier on uploading the light rail system to the province. But he was unable to provide a timeline. Here's what the Premier had to say.
We're continuing to work with them, and we're going to continue talking to them. We've made some huge investments for the people of Ottawa, and we're going to continue to invest in the people of Ottawa. I think the last deal was about $700 million, uploading a highway and giving them quite a few other things that they need. And we'll be there to support them on the LRT as well.
Doug Ford gave no indication as to why little progress has been made so far. The mayor says he's hoping to meet with the province soon to try and move those talks forward.
Ottawa police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year after a man was stabbed to death in the Carlington area. Paramedics say a man was taken to hospital in critical condition, but police say the man later died from his injuries. This happened in the 1400 block of Mayview Avenue. 2 individuals are now in custody and the investigation is ongoing. Officers remain in the area as police believe there is an ongoing risk to public safety. The victim's name has not been released, but anyone with information is asked to contact the homicide unit.
Canada's premiers are meeting with the Prime Minister today with the upcoming Kuzma review in mind.
We know President Trump's rules. There are no rules with him. So we need to focus on what we can do.
In any negotiation, there's on both sides, there's some people that are kind of out front with more bluster. We're certainly seeing that.
It's going to be an exciting couple days as we...
The Premier started their winter meetings just days after U.S. President Donald Trump leveled that new 100% tariff threat against Canada. The U.S. Treasury Secretary also had a warning for Prime Minister Mark Carney after his speech in Davos.
I would not pick a fight going into USMCA to score some cheap political points. Either you are working for your own political career or you're working for the Canadian people.
The USMCA.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary did also say in that interview, "I think we will end up in a good place." Kuzma comes up for review in July.
Several people are responding to a new snow removal idea for the city of Ottawa, and it's something that's already being done in some municipalities. If you have a driveway, you've likely dealt with the dreaded windrow, the pile left behind by a passing plow. Some municipalities like Mississauga have specialized equipment to clear windrows. It costs taxpayers around $50 per household per year.
The machines come in and they just push the snow in front of the driveways. It's just like, why not push it down the street or push it over there? Like,
it'd be worth it for the convenience, but I don't know if I want to pay extra taxes.
And while many residents say it would be a great addition to snow removal, the city says Ottawa is simply too big and a similar program would cost too much.
Dozens of people gathered outside the U.S. Embassy along Sussex Drive last night for a vigil in memory of Alex Preddy, the ICU nurse fatally shot by U.S. Border Patrol officer over the weekend in Minneapolis.
I've been wondering a lot since his murder, what's making this resonate so much with people.
U.S. officials said Preddy, who had a permit to carry a gun, was armed and officers fired defensively at a protest on Saturday. His death has sparked widespread outrage and further protests as bystander videos don't appear to show Preddy holding a weapon before he was shot. Preddy was the second American citizen killed this month during ongoing immigration enforcement crackdowns in Minnesota.
It was a slow commute on the 417 last night after an excavator fell off a transport truck. Ontario Provincial Police were on scene of the westbound 417 just past Moody Drive. 2 lanes were blocked with delays backed up from the 416 for about 90 minutes. Paramedics say they were not called to the scene. Drivers were advised to plan alternate routes. Police say the cause of the incident is under investigation.
This is one of the risks of parking your car on the street in winter. Take a peek at this. The video shared with CTV News shows a snowplow hitting a parked car in Toronto. The plow took the panel off actually one of the doors, and the windows on the driver's side were shattered. The city has commented saying that the contractor will pay for the damage.
And we now know who will carry Canada's flag at the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympics.
Olympic champions Mikhail Kingsbury and Marielle Thompson have been selected for the honor. Kingsbury is three-time Olympian medalist in moguls. The Quebec athlete was the first male mogul skier to win 3 Olympic medals.
Thompson is from Whistler, BC. She's also had an impressive career, winning gold in her Olympic debut in 2014 and adding silver in 2022. The opening ceremony takes place February 6th in northern Italy. And just around the corner, it's wild how fast it is approaching. I mean, February arrives on Sunday.
It's wild. Usually these months drag on, but I do feel like from a few conversations I've had, it's not many, January has almost flown by a little bit.
Yeah, thankfully. It's usually one of the longer months, even though, you know, it's not technically the longest month. It feels like it, I find. But we're almost there. Just a couple more days.
And as we head into our brand new month, you have some brightness to share with us.
We have some relief on the way. That is right. Now, will we see an early spring? That is still to be determined. However, at least we're going to see a bit of a milder winter as we head into February. We could still see some flurries this morning, sunny and cold into the afternoon, but lots of sunshine as we head towards the weekend. Temps still sitting at -18. It is cold outside. We will see some sunshine at least this morning. Windy as well, -15 currently in Kingston, -13 in Brockville. These are temps with the wind chill, so this is how it feels outside. It feels closer to -28 this hour, so very, very cold. Feels closer to -30 out in the valley, as well as in Trenton, -23. Same within Kingston. So a cold start to your morning across the region today. The good news is sunny skies. We're seeing that sunshine out there this morning. There's still a chance of flurries until about noon hour. Then it will clear up and we will see more sunshine in through your afternoon and right through into your evening. It will be nice and clear into the evening hours, and then over the next few days, more sunshine on the way. So not a lot of snow that we're expecting over the next 7 days. We could still see some flurries this morning, but other than that, we're going to see more sun than snow over the next week, which is great news. A daytime high today of -13 for us here in Ottawa. Will feel closer to -20. -16 is the high in Petawawa, -15 in Kittagan-Zibi, -11 for Montreal. So in the 7-day forecast, we'll see that shift in temperatures on Sunday. Overnight, still cold, -23 is the overnight low, -13 for tomorrow, -10 for Saturday. So temps staying in the minus double digits until the weekend. But as you can see, lots more sunshine on the way. We have 6 days of pure sunshine, including today at 7, because still nice and sunny out there this morning. Then on Sunday, when February arrives, temperatures still cold, but at least we're in the minus single digits, so we're getting somewhere. As we head into Monday, that's the warmest day. We will reach a daytime high of -4, which is a little bit above the norm.
Weather brought to you by Yeggendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
And here's a look at your drive-in this morning on your roads this hour. We aren't seeing any major issues east to west, as we do have a disabled vehicle still 417 at Island Park. Highways eastbound on the 417 is build up from Moody to Bronson, still slow heading west on the Queensway from the 174 until Nicholas.
Designed to celebrate the capital's vibrant dining city, Taste Ottawa Capital City Bites brings together over 50 participant restaurants to experience Ottawa through food. We got Stephen joining us and Nicole as well to talk about the food that we're going to be experiencing, as well as this amazing idea. Good morning to you, Stephen.
Hi, good morning.
This is so exciting, and I love that 50 restaurants are already involved in this. Give us a little bit of breakdown about how this all came together.
Yeah, so Capital City Bites, really we wanted to focus and put the culinary scene in the spotlight here in Ottawa. And so now we have over 50 restaurants that are participating in this event that takes place between January 31st to February 6th.
It's so amazing. How was it, the response from the restaurants? Were they right on board to experience? Because I feel like we have so much incredible dining here in the city, and we want to highlight that.
Yeah, you do. And I was actually really surprised at the uptake, because I was thinking maybe if we got 20, it would be like a success, and we ended up getting over 50. People are really hungry for this. You know what? They want to participate, and they want to show off their restaurant.
Look at that line, too. Hungry for this. You even said it perfectly. You're already ready for your TV. Nicole, I want to introduce you a little bit and talk about what you have here, one of our fine dining experiences that we had, and then we'll walk through a little bit of a plating. So what have you brought with you today?
So I have 2 dishes for you today. I have our egg slaw, which comes with actually 27 different ingredients on it, including the sauce, which is made with jamun, which is an Indian dried black plum. which gives it a really nice color. And on the other hand, we have our elegant samosa tart, which is, everyone knows what a samosa is, but what we've done is we've taken the shell of the samosa and made a tartlet out of it to kind of give it a more fine dining experience.
I love that. When you're thinking about creating dishes like this, obviously you have a passion for it. I can see it as you're talking about it.
Thank you.
What goes through your mind? Do you get excited? Do you pull from different areas? How do you even come up with an idea to create a dish like this?
So how I like to look at it is take the dish, for instance, and look at ways that you can reimagine it. So this dish is essentially everything that goes into a samosa. Now, for instance, the red dots that you see, in India, we dip samosa into ketchup. Instead of doing a regular ketchup, we made a strawberry ketchup in-house, which adds a little bit of heatness and sweetness to it. And to balance it out, we have a passion fruit curd that goes along with it. These are dishes that, these are elements that go really well with samosa that we know. We just reinvented the way that we wanted to showcase it.
I love that. And what else have you brought here? Because we're not done. This isn't. It already looks much better than anything I've ever created in my life, but this is just the start of it.
Yes. So for the slaw, I'm going to finish it with some dressing on top. Like I said, the dried plums adds a really nice color. It's going to be finished with starfruit. Starfruit is a cross between an apple, a pear, and grapes in terms of flavor profile. It adds a good amount of freshness to the dish. We have some sweetie drops of Peruvian peppers. They add a nice bit of heat, but not too much. Just a good amount of spice for balance. And along with that, for crunch, we have fried taro and deep fried lotus roots. Yeah.
It's so lovely, right? You can see as you put it together.
It adds a good amount of crunch, a good amount of freshness before a nice hearty meal. It really helps. Yeah.
I love that. I was going to say, are you going to share with us the secret sauce? Because that's almost like the Space Jam juice, where like you don't know what's in it, but it looks so delicious. You're letting us know.
Yeah. Well, our secret, like I said, is the jamun, which is sun-dried plums. It's something that grows in India, and it adds a good amount of flavor, tartness and sweetness, and we finish it with the house-made onion oil for extra umami in it.
It's amazing, and you know what? And this is exactly why something like this is created, right? We're hearing him talk about the food and the passion for it. And what are some of the other restaurants? Like, what has the response been from certain types of restaurants that are being included in this?
Yeah, so it really runs the gamut. We have everything from bakeries to kind of casual lunch spots, right through to fine dining, and even like 2 special events. So really, it's a collection of everything that's come together, and everyone's excited to showcase their food.
I love that. 50 restaurants so far, probably more to come. Thank you both for joining us, providing us with an amazing future of just experiencing what Ottawa has to offer in the dining experience, and providing us with, of course, your secret sauce.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, if you want to be featured in our Deloria kitchen, email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We would love to have you on, but make sure you bring enough food for the entire staff. Our cameraman there seems to be a little bit hungry as he walks away. All right, we're going to take a peek outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The sunshine finally returning. Temperatures still below seasonal. Into the weekend, though, single-digit daytime highs. Something we haven't seen a lot of over the last several days. We will be right back.
There's something special in every area. Join us for Your Neighborhood as we highlight the people and places that bring the National Capital Region to life.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Kicking it off with the Ottawa Home and Remodeling Show this weekend at the EY Centre. Get advice, inspiration, and more for all your home projects from hundreds of trusted experts. Plus, learn all about the latest trends for your kitchen, bath, and more. If there's a project that you've been thinking of starting or maybe even been putting off, this is a great one to check out this weekend. Next up today is the Canadian Culinary Championship. This is a celebration of Canadian culinary excellence tomorrow and Saturday. 10 gold-winning chefs from across the country, 3 competitions, and 1 Canadian culinary champion. A portion of all proceeds go to support music education, sports opportunities, and healthy food for Canada through Music Counts, Spirit North, Ottawa Network for Education, and BGC Ottawa. Get all the details at greatkitchenparty.com. And last on the list today, it's Winterlude, kicking off this weekend with the Crystal Garden in Confederation Park, which features ice sculptures and live entertainment, and the Snowflake Kingdom at Jacques Cartier Park, featuring snow slides, winter activities, and more. Lots more to get up to this weekend around the city. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
All right, here's a situation for you. Ava's boyfriend of a year and a half wants to take a week-long solo vacation to Miami. She says that she's unsure if a separate vacation is a good idea. Sophie and Jeff from Move 100 try to help her out in this week's edition of Therapy Thursday.
I can understand why Ava is offended by this. There are elements of this that are weird, but the concept itself is not weird.
Okay, because people on Facebook seem to be supportive.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to be said about doing something alone for yourself. Like, there's no reason why, just because you're in a relationship, that everything you do has to be with the other person. Like, you should be able to do something independently as an individual. I love Jennifer's take on this. She says it is healthy to be yourself and an individual in a relationship. You can both do things without the other and not suffer any lost love. Part of a healthy relationship is accepting the needs of the other person, even if you don't understand them. A solo trip isn't a deal breaker. My husband and I have done it. The real problem sits in, does he always want to be alone? That's the question. Yeah. One solo trip isn't a big deal. If he's doing it all the time, now that's a problem.
You know me, I like to take things to extremes.
Of course.
To test your theories. What if he was going to the Amalfi Coast for a week? I'm going to the Amalfi Coast for a week by myself. I think where you go actually matters.
Is it because Miami is known to be like a party city and that's why it's a problem?
Yeah, I guess maybe that could be what it is in my mind. I don't know if you're thinking about it. Haley on text says, I think it's weird unless he has family or friends there. My advice might be petty, but I'd go on my own vacation without him, maybe somewhere he wants to go. The weird part is he's going somewhere she wants to go without her.
Yeah, but where is she not going to want to go? Do you know what I mean? Like, he wants to go to Miami. Maybe
Columbus,
he picked Miami.
Ohio.
Yeah, well, he's not going to want to go there either. But maybe he picked it because he found a seat sale or a deal, or he feels like it's somewhere he could go alone because there's a lot of hustle and bustle, and it wouldn't be weird for him to go alone. I think if the destination was different, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like
to Miami.
Just picturing a bunch of J-Los over there, you know?
I've been there. There's a bunch of J-Los over there.
Therapy Thursday is brought to you in part by Focus Forward Health, Ottawa's premier mental health boutique.
Welcome back, everybody. So Melissa calls this Mini Friday.
I do.
Why don't we take a look at what actual Friday has in store for us on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. It is official. We have had wonderful conditions for this Winterlude kicking off.
Woohoo!
We are also going to talk about some new movies with Mr. Hollywood. Temperature's still a little cold, maybe Friday, so good to head into theaters, but he always covers theaters and what we can watch at home. Plus, our Your Neighborhood segment heads to Mood Moss Flowers. It's been so great highlighting the local areas in our neighborhoods. We are in Vanier this week.
And plants and flowers are just one way to bring some warmth and some summer-likeness to your house, I find. You know, winter seems to drag on, and if you add some beautiful flowers, pops of color, even some plants, some greenery, it just makes it feel like spring is maybe around the corner.
It makes a huge difference inside your home having those elements inside. And then we head outside, because what can we expect through the day today on our mini Friday?
You know, not a bad looking day. At least we're going to see sunshine. We're going to see more sun than snow over the next 7 days, which is positive news for a lot of people. It still will be cold today. -13 is where temps will sit into the afternoon, around -13, -14. Will feel closer to -20. Could still see those flurries till about noon hour today, then sunshine and clear overnight, dropping to -23. But look at this, not too bad, right? Winterlude kicks off, great weekend for it. It will stay cold. Good news for the ice sculptures, good news for the slides and all the winter festivities. Not so cold as we head into Sunday as February arrives. Then next week, cold enough for Winterlude in the Rideau Canal, but not overly cold where it's going to feel like -40 like last weekend. So relief on the way, and I mean, lots of sunshine.
I feel like hitting the canal Sunday into early next week is like those are perfect conditions. It's been so cold, no snowfall, the ice will be good. It'll be sunshine filled out there. This is what we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you back here for Friday, for your little Friday. Take good care and have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.